Alright, what's up, guys? So while we're waiting on parts for the KA, mainly the gaskets and stuff like that, I got another little side project to do. I'd like to have ready for, well, anyway, you'll see. Um, so we got a little fun game called What's in the Box. So I've been sitting on these for a long time, waiting to use them, and like finally, I don't know, like I need to get these things going. I need to get them on. So, uh, we got one big box, two smaller boxes. So what's in the box? All right. So, dun, 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 dun. I guess no, no slow reveal or anything like that. Anyway, of course it's wheels, and like I said, I've had these things. Oh man, had these things for years, and just was waiting, and now like that I'm redoing this setup, I feel like finally time to get them cleaned up and on the car. So what do we got? All right, so these, if you're telling yourself, oh man, equips, these are not equips. These are, I'm going to pronounce it wrong. These are Leonhard or Leonharderit or however you want to pronounce it. Leonhard clusters. So I've never really seen that many of them, and these were just another thing that popped up on Yahoo. I am a huge 17-18 staggered nerd, and these are 17-18. So we got 17s there, 18s there. And these are just like the best specs for a stock body car or, a mild setup. The fronts are 17-9 plus 9, and the rears are 18x10 plus 20. So not a crazy amount of lip. I mean, there's lip. The front, there's not as much, but that's because the fronts are, I would say, I don't want to say big brake friendly, but definitely Z brake friendly. And so let's see what we got in here. Alright, so yeah, Superstar 3-piece wheel, 17x9 plus 9, and then bolt pattern obviously, and then old weight. But yeah, just, the good stuff. Made in Japan. I guess there's no markings for Leonhardt, but if I had the caps, then obviously that would say it. So, let's see, yeah, 79 plus 9, and then 1810 plus 20, same deal. Let's see what it says. Oh man, now the light's killing me. Yep, product by Superstar, International Quality Wheel. There you have it. International Quality Wheel. And 18x10 plus 20. So, yeah, just, man, I saw these things. So here's the story on them. These popped up on Yahoo, and I was just doing my general searching or whatever. So these popped up, and nothing happened. And I think they were like maybe $550 or $600, like 60,000 yen or something like that. But they got originally posted, nothing happened. Of course, like inside, I'm like, oh my gosh, those specs are so good. Being the typical nerd I am, nothing happened. And then I think they popped up, they got reposted for maybe like 55,000 yen, so like $550. And then still not, they're still there. And the faces were like flaking original finish or whatever, not pretty or whatever. So then they then they got reposted again, but when he reposted them, he reposted them, I think, for like 45,000 yen. It's like 450 bucks. And when he reposted them that time, he had gone through and hit the faces with like a DA or some sort of grinder sander thing. You can see the scratches in the finish. Not ideal. And I was like, God, I should have bought them when they were when they still had the original finish on them. But anyway, they're sick. I still, I really enjoy them. I don't know, like if it's got good specs, like man, like it makes it so much cooler. That's probably why, like, if you find TEs and crap specs, they're worth nothing. But if you get the right specs where no one has to run spacers, then man, everybody wants them. But anyway, like the plan is just to refinish them, and if you notice, like front to rear, so the 17s have this style. I don't know what that is, like a 12-point bolt, and then the rears have just a standard hex. So, sorry, as is, it seems like always the case. Anytime a staggered set, like a 17-18 set, is like together, they were never originally purchased together. It was always two pairs sourced. So I think this kind of reflects that. At least that's all the 17-18s that I've bought and sold, and like I said, I've done a few. It seems like the manufacture dates and stuff like that are always different. So just stuff that's pieced together over the years. So the bolts are different. It doesn't really bother me. I'm gonna keep. I don't think I want to redo the hardware. If I can clean it up, I will. So this will be, I guess, some before footage, before the cleanup. Ooh. You can see the original finish there, just like a silver, real nice. So the plan is pop the faces out. It looks like they're surface, not pinched. So it looks like the faces are sitting on the surface of the two halves, your lip and your barrel. If these, it says Speedstar, if they're originally made by SSR, then this will be welded in here. And so like if you get a set of like SP1s, anything SSR, this is going to be welded even though it's still got caulking on it. And they still call that a 3-piece wheel. Each brand's version of multi-piece is different. So anyway, you got your nuts back here, bolts up there, the face is sitting on it, so it looks like for what I want to do, it works out perfect. It looks like I can just, pop all those out, beat the face, hopefully just a little persuasion, and tap it out that way. And then I'll separate the face from the full barrel, which really works out nice, because all I really want to do is, if there's a clear coat on here, I'm not sure, it doesn't feel like there is. So when the face is out, I want to polish these up, maybe do some sort of clear coat on that, possibly do some black in the barrel. I don't know if I'll powder coat it or just like spray paint it or do something, hopefully not too janky. And then the faces, I kind of just want to redo to like a nice aluminum silver color, basically like the original was. I thought about going full polished, but I don't know. That just seems like a lot of extra work, especially getting into all this stuff in here. And I don't know if it's really going to add too much to the overall look. I don't know. Anyway, so that's my plan. Silver on the faces, and then clean up the lips and the barrels. But yeah, like when I put the car together, anytime you put cool wheels on like a half-built car, it's always like such motivation. So I've always just left the boring, 5-lug SE wheels on it while I was building it, and then tried to do these as like wheels as like the finishing touch. But this time I'm just gonna put them on midway through whenever I get them done. So I'll get these broke down, and I'll have a whole bunch of stuff to do for powder coating. So I got the wheels laid out, and hit them with some good old WD-40, and just so I can hopefully have a fairly easy time when it comes to breaking them apart. I don't want any trouble with the hardware, so I'd rather spend a few minutes now and let them sit for a while just to hopefully protect things. Because one thing I've learned is if you horse it, you end up breaking stuff. So play it safe. You get all these zip zapped. A little Japanese for you. If you're looking for WD-40 in Japan, it's the same. But they say WD-40 is Yonju. So far, progress is going really smooth with these wheels. I let them sit in the WD-40, came back, loosened them all up by hand with that's just a 12 mil 6-point. Loosened all those up. They broke free, no problem. And the one holdup was these here are an 8 mil 12-point, which I did not have. So I stopped by Home Depot. Ended up finding a Husky 5/16 because 8 mil 5/16 are the same, and it's like a U. They call it U shape. It's not 12-point, but anyway, it fits it, grips it real nice, and those didn't have any problem getting those out on the first wheel. The only see, it just popped right out. Like I had it face down, and it just wanted to drop down, which that's the first time it's ever gone like that. Normally they're in there pretty snug. You kind of got to use a mallet and some wood on the back to kind of knock them free. But the spokes were the bolts, the ones that are bolted into the face, those have red Loctite on them. Otherwise it's just nut and bolts around the whole thing. So one down and 3 more to go. So yeah, not bad at all. That's one more down. 2 more to go. Here's the hardware, or at least some A1. Come on, camera. I'm going to try and do something to polish those up. You can see how shiny the bodies are. This nut side I don't really care because you won't see that. But I'll try, I think maybe try and buff those up or polish those up or something. They're in pretty good shape. I think they're just kind of skeezy from being down. And they even say Superstar on the flange there. I really think these are unwelded because I think normally you would kind of see the weld through the, I don't know, the silicone or whatever the glue is there. But I don't know. I'm still debating if I want to try and split them all the way down or just leave them like this because this serves my purpose just as well. But you can see just how much gunk and stuff is down there. So we'll get all that cleaned up. And yeah, I wish Homie wouldn't have sanded the faces, but whatever, it'll all get blasted and then disappear. But yeah, pretty good. Pretty darn good. Almost hit a roadblock on the 18s. I did one face already, worked out. But this, what I thought was like a 6 mil hex, being that these are JDM wheels, turns out it's I think a 5.5 mil. And I have a 5 or a 6, so luckily a 7/32 would fit in there. If I was trying to break it free using that, I would have stripped it out, but I just needed something to offer a little bit of resistance since it already had the nuts loose on the backside. So luckily that worked out. And then I noticed as I was spinning it around, slowly, removing all the bolts, this little seal here gives indication that this is not welded. As a I mean, I can pick out, I guess, what I need to know, I think, but it says basically like, for this wheel is a seal type, or like because this wheel is a seal type, when you're putting your tires on, be careful with the tire lever, so you don't, I guess, if you use your tire lever in here and you come and you scrape it, you don't rip that caulking there, or that glue or silicone, RTV, whatever you want to call it. So you don't rip that, and then you'd have an air leak, which I've had multi-piece wheels in the past. They leaked air, not from anywhere else, but internally at the seam there. Like, you can spray water on it, you can see air coming out through the flange there. So looks like these are not welded, which is good news for splitting them apart, keeping everything pretty simple. And then it just goes on to say, I believe it says, like, if you do break the seal with a tire lever, you can't file a claim, or you can't get a return or anything like that. That's kind of your fault. I believe I can pick out most of the stuff that leads me to believe that's what's going on. So that's good news there. Because if that's the case, it's really tempting, just to slice it, separate them, polish those up, and then do these just like the same silver as the faces. Because I'm not a huge fan of black on the barrels. It makes the wheels look really like, I don't know, like really cookie cutter, like really small pizza cutters or whatever. Because you got this dark in here that kind of just disappears. Anyway, just rambling, sorry. Back to it. Alright, so I think we'll leave it there today for progress on the wheels. They're each broken down, the faces are all separated. I might get a big Tupperware tub and throw some stripper on them or something and try and strip them, but that's really stinky. It's super cold outside, so I'm not really interested in having all that fumes and stuff in the garage. So I guess I'll be shopping for some powder coat, pick out a color on that, and then we'll pick it up, I guess, when I have a game plan going there. And just for the fun of it, I was cleaning the other day, and I found this old Razzo sticker pack, I guess, that you get with your old shift knobs. And I had always wondered why they give you shift pattern stickers, because I don't know anybody who uses them. Unless you live in Japan and you need to pass Shaken, or I guess the vehicle inspection or whatever. You have to display a shift pattern that matches your transmission. So it could either be on the shift knob, or if you've got just a blank shift knob, you can just get any sticker, probably even tape a piece of paper on the dash or whatever, that has the shift pattern for your transmission, and then you will pass Shaken. Alright, so see you guys next time. And a little hint, the cardboard on the floor is just a hint of future things to come, but we'll wait for all that. So anyway, peace, see you guys later. Be good.